Homeless people cannot be harassed or banished. This is the actual verbiage in this bill. They cannot be harassed or banished by private property owners. You heard me right. If this becomes law and it's being pushed at the federal level and in several states, homeless people cannot be harassed or banished by private property owners. And finally, the government should lay claim, the federal government should lay claim to all vacant homes. They get to decide the definition of a vacant home, no matter who owns them, so that the homeless can be housed therein. These are some of the highlights from this bill. Are you ready to get into this? Who's ready for this? Who's ready for the anti-whites to do exactly that I said they would do when I was 12 years old? Vote the car out of your driveway and the house out from underneath of your ass. You will create what's called a public incentive to those who are, maybe they live in a shitty little house. Maybe they live and they're making payments. Maybe they live in Section 8 and they still got to make payments there. Maybe they live in a rundown shack. They don't like the neighborhood. They're making payments. It takes money out of their pocket. Well, when this becomes law, you've created a public incentive for these people to abandon those shitty shacks and move on into the love shack that is your house. So let's say the actual number of homeless are 2 million, or even take their upper number of 1.5 million. You're going to create a public choice incentive that's going to be tens of millions. People who will leave Section 8 housing, why live there? People who will live in the ghetto, why live there? People who live in the crappy part of town, why live there? But who's this bill applied to? Whereas the population of unhoused individuals in the United States is, you ready? Disproportionately comprised of black, brown, and indigenous people, women, children, undocumented immigrants, people with mental, developmental, and physical disabilities, people with substance use disorders, and members of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, gender non-conforming, and queer communities. So in other words, everybody but good old tax-paying, law-abiding, Western civilization creating white folk. Everybody else. Are you getting this yet? This is the biggest victimization of Westernkind yet. This is the grossest indignity of us as a defeated people, which is what we are, yet. Everything you've worked for, all of your privacy, the life you want to live, that daughter and son that you don't want to be around junkies, that you've worked your ass off to put them into nice communities, good schools, gone.